good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from gorgeous, chilly San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Hope you guys are excited about today. I am pumped. Because I choose to be. What y'all think about these glasses? You know, every now and then when the sun ain't shining and it's kind of overcast and I'm not wearing my sunglasses, I increase my IQ by about 80 points by wearing these guys. Hope you guys are having a fantastic morning. This conversation, as most of my conversations with you in the morning, many times comes from conversations I have with my children. Having 6 of them in the house out of the 7 creates great breeding ground for opportunity because I am constantly in teacher mode. I am constantly teaching my children principles that I hope and pray will serve them as they grow into adulthood. And it's my desire to share those with you because, believe it or not, most of us stop growing, stop thinking, stop changing when we're pretty young, and we just have those programs built into it. So what is my point today in talking with one of my children who was telling me how he was feeling is you're feeling right now exactly what you want to feel. And I'm going to interchange the word want intentionally. You feel exactly how you choose to feel right now. Well, he makes me angry. No, he doesn't make you angry. You are choosing anger as a response. You could have chosen grace. You could have chosen forgiveness. You could have chosen mercy or understanding. You chose anger. Hey, really makes me angry. No, you choose anger. You are feeling exactly what you are choosing, which is why I love visiting with and counseling young men in marriage who are so excited about getting married. And I'm always like, oh yeah, baby, the getting is the fun part. The staying is the work. Well, I just don't feel like I'm in love anymore. Well, sucker, I think you have a misinterpretation about what the love really is all about. What love really means. Love is a decision. Love is a commitment. Love is a choice. In this case, a covenant. It's not a feeling. You know, eros love is a feeling, phileo is a feeling, agape is a choice and a decision. But that's another story for another time. You basically feel exactly how you want to feel right now, exactly how you choose to feel right now, because you are not a victim of your emotions. One of the things that fascinated me from time to time when I read my favorite book, the Bible, is that sometimes Jesus would see people who were messed up, handicapped, demon-possessed, just whack. And he would say, what do you want? Like, what do you want me to do for you? Well, it's pretty obvious if you're standing there and you are paralyzed from the waist down and can't move. It's pretty obvious what you want. But you know what? Zig Ziglar said this. Not everybody who comes to you with a problem wants you to fix it. You see, many people have created an identity around the negativity that they spew to others because it puts attention on them. Not everybody who comes to you with a problem actually wants you to fix that problem. Some people actually enjoy rehearsing the problem over and over and over again to other people because it makes them feel important. So if some people were to be healed or set free or have breakthrough in the areas they complain about the most, they really wouldn't have much of an identity because they have learned by habit how to live under the line of their privilege that God is destined for all people through abundance of His love and loving ourselves the way He loves us. And some people are just not accustomed to living a winning life. It actually takes practice to live a winning life without becoming a tool or arrogant. So most people are just comfortable wallowing in their stuff. It's like Dave Ramsey when he said he would work with some couples who are ashamed and embarrassed to talk about their financial situation. He goes, they kind of remind me like a baby with a poopy diaper. The baby's going, don't change it. Don't change it. Just leave it. I know it stinks. I know it's nasty, but it's warm and it's all mine because you're used to it. Well, if your situation stinks and it's messy and it's warm and it is all yours, you do not have to choose to stay in that situation. You feel exactly how you want to feel, exactly how you choose to feel. So when I was having a conversation with one of my kiddos this morning, who was expressing to me feelings that were really prohibiting him from taking action, I said, okay, but what if you choose to tell yourself a different story? He says, what do you mean, Dad? And I said, well, tell me the thoughts you're thinking that are causing you to call what you're feeling extremely anxious and nervous. And he said, well, I'm going to be doing, in drama today, we got this thing, and I'm going to be in front of all these people, and my thoughts are, I don't want to mess up. And I said, okay, fantastic. Have you practiced it? He goes, yeah. And I said, okay, well, what if you choose to say, I'm not nervous. I'm actually kind of excited. I'm prepared for this. I'm actually kind of excited about this. In fact, I'm probably going to do pretty good. Now, here's where we're going to be gut level honest. He goes like this. Dad. Okay. It took me some time to work through that. By the way, coaching clients will do that from time to time, just not as dramatic. And I said, the reason you're feeling the way you're feeling is because you are telling yourself a story. And the words you are saying to yourself are creating that feeling. Ladies, you know how it is. You wake up, you did your hair the last day, and then it's a super crazy humid day in Texas, and you look in the mirror and you go, oh my gosh, my hair, I'm having a horrible hair day. This is terrible. I can't believe. And you're telling yourself this story, which is making you feel a certain way. Your husband or wife does one of those little idiosyncratic things that gets on your nerves, and you tell yourself a story about them. You do something and you make a mistake or something, and maybe you put yourself down. Maybe you say something mean to yourself, like I talked about a couple weeks ago. If I talked to you the way you talk to yourself in your own head, would we still be friends? Or would we be enemies? Probably be enemies. How are you speaking to yourself? How you speak to yourself has a dramatic impact on how you feel, meaning that you are not a victim to your feelings because you get to decide what you were saying. So I went back through it again. I said, little buddy, work with me through this. Tell me how you feel. He said, I feel very nervous. And I said, fantastic. So you're thinking thoughts that are creating this feeling that you're calling nervousness, right? Can we just call it excited? But I'm not excited. And then I went back to the B-I-B-L-E and I said, there's this place in here where it says, let the weak say I'm strong. Let the poor say I'm rich because of what the Lord has done for me. So this tells us, little man, that you have the ability to declare, to decree, to proclaim what it is you intend to experience without actually having to experience it in this moment. Well, Dad, isn't that lying? And I said, I don't believe the Lord lies, son. I believe that's kind of a trip and it takes faith. And yet what it's saying is that we can speak into existence what we intend to experience. We don't have to be a victim of that circumstance. So for instance, I said, let's try that one more time. Tell me how you feel. I feel really nervous. I said, great. Who told you that? Let that sink in, y'all. I just really want that to sink in. He said, what did you say? I said, you said you feel nervous. Who told you that? And then he got it. And he said, I guess I did. I said, you're telling yourself you're nervous, right? And he goes, yeah. I said, then that means because you're feeling the way that accompanies what you told yourself, then can you tell yourself something more powerful? And he went, I suppose I can. I said, okay, what can you say to yourself that would make you feel more powerful instead of powerless in this situation, though, man? I've practiced. I'm pretty good at it. My friends say I'm pretty good at it. I've been doing it pretty well. I said, yeah. My mentor, I told him, Zig Ziglar, even after speaking thousands and thousands and thousands of times, said this. He said, I still get butterflies every single time I speak. They're just flying in formation now instead of all over the place. I said, there's a certain level of anticipation, excitement that comes with speaking in front of people for most people, buddy. So let's have this conversation. If you told yourself that this is how you feel, then what can you tell yourself that would cause you to feel what you intend to feel? I said, would you like to feel confident and strong and powerful this morning? He said, I absolutely would. I said, then what do we need to say? And what do you need to say to yourself for you to feel that way? So that's what I want to leave you with this morning. You feel exactly how you want to feel, which is exactly how you choose to feel. Because if you say, well, I feel really sad today. Who told you that? Well, what do you mean, Steve Collins? Like, who told you felt sad today? Well, I suppose I did. Okay, well, because you told yourself that, can you tell yourself something else? how else could you look at this situation in a way that would make you feel powerful and empowered instead of like a victim? Well, my friend, that's exactly what you have the ability to do. You have the ability to choose to tell yourself the story you want to tell yourself, which will create the way that you feel. What you're thinking is affecting how you're feeling, and what you're thinking, you are not a victim of. Like the old man said, you can't keep a bird from flying over your head, but you can darn sure keep him from building a nest in your hair, meaning you may not be able to control that first thought that hits your mind. However, you can decide whether you're going to be in agreement with it, whether you're going to let it affect you, whether you're going to let it stir you up, or whether you're going to do what I'm suggesting this morning, which is take it captive, all right? Get rid of it and replace it with something powerful. How else could I think about this situation in a way that would make me feel powerful instead of powerless? How else could I think about this situation that would put me in a place of victory instead of victimhood? How else could I look at this situation that would create the feeling that I would want to have? What would I want to feel right now? I would want to feel joyful. Okay, what's the other story I could tell myself that would create that joyful? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing the heavy lifting for you this morning. I can hand this to you for free like I do every day, but it's up to you to put it into practice. Don't like how you're feeling this morning? Good news. You can change it. Have a great day, guys.